Hello and welcome to the October meeting for Corangamite Shire's council meeting. I'm Mayor Kate Macon and I'll introduce the rest of the people around the table today. I have Deputy Mayor Laurie Hickey, I have Councillor Ruth Australian, Councillor Joe Beard, Councillor Jamie Vogels, Councillor Geraldine Canady and Councillor Nick Cole. We also have around the table today Mr. Sean Broadbent, the Director of Works and Services, Ms. Justine Lindley, Director of Sustainable Development, Mr. Chris Athenjo, Manager of Governance and Civic Support, and whose meeting is the last one to join us today. So thank you for being here, Chris. And last but not least, our CEO, Mr. David Pratt. So I'll move on with proceedings. So first up is the prayer. We ask for guidance and blessing on this council. May the true needs and well-being of our communities be our concern. Help us, who serve as leaders, to remember that all our decisions are made in the best interest of the people, culture and the environment of the Corangamite Shire. Amen. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land around Corangamite Shire, the Eastern Maar and the Wadawurrung people. We pay our respects to all Aboriginal elders, peoples past, present and emerging. Do we have any apologies, Mr. CEO?
Madam Mayor, there are no apologies for this evening's meeting.
There's no conflict of interests. So I'll move on to, is there any confirmation of minutes for the 24th of September 2024? Can I have a mover for that one, please? Councillor Vogel, seconded Councillor Cole. All those in favour? Carried, thank you. I'll actually call for a motion to suspend standing orders for the citizenship ceremony. Can I please have a mover for that one, please? Councillor Cole, seconded Councillor Beard. All those in favour? Carried, thank you. We'll go over and do our citizenship ceremony. Welcome. This citizenship ceremony conducted as prescribed by the Australian Citizenship Act 2007 and the Australian Citizenship Regulation 2016 under the authority of the Minister of Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. As Mayor, I have been authorised as the person who may receive the pledge as a citizen of the Commonwealth of Australia. Making a pledge is the final step in you becoming an Australian citizen. I have a message to read from the Honourable Tony Burke, Minister for Home Affairs and Minister for Immigration and Multicultural Affairs. In a few moments' time, Australia becomes an even better nation. When you make the citizenship pledge, you take on the privileges and responsibilities of Australian citizenship. From that moment, your journey and heritage will become part of our shared Australian story. We are privileged to share this beautiful country with First Nations Australians, the custodians of the world's oldest continuing culture. Appreciating and understanding this truth is a vital part of what it means to be an Australian. Australia welcomes you as a full member of one of the most diverse nations on earth, where our citizenship is a bond which unites us all. Australia welcomes you and everything you bring to Australia. Today, our new nation says to you, welcome home, the Honourable Tony Burke. Then I have to read this one. So, Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons of whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. So I invite the candidates forward who are making Pledge 1, please. Who's doing Pledge 1? Karen? Oh no, Jarrah. So come stand beside me. Do you want to say it by yourself or do you want to repeat after me? You go for it. Go for it. Go, let's go.
From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Well done. Congratulations. And who are doing number 2? Karen and Faith, do you want to come up? Rightio. You can stand right where you are, that's fine. Do you want to read together, John? Repeat after me. How would you like to do this? Repeat after me. Right. From this time forward.
From this time forward,
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people,
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people,
whose democratic beliefs I share,
whose democratic beliefs I share,
whose rights and liberties I respect,
whose rights and liberties I respect,
and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
and whose laws I will uphold and obey.
Congratulations. Karen, do you want to come up? Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. And a little bit. Congratulations. Thank you.
There's a photo you want.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you very much. That's a hard one. Congratulations. Well done. That's beautiful. Well done. Thank you. No worries. You want to go for it? Yes. Thank you. No worries. Well done. No worries. And now we'll sing the national anthem. So if you could all stand up, that would be great. Thank you. I welcome you as citizens of Australia and congratulate you on your decision to become an Australian citizen. Congratulations and well done again.
Come up if you like. It's up to you. Take photo of me, we can take photo of Hannah, take photo of me. Family shot. Family shot.
The flag behind. Right.
How long we can get some family ones to do just.
Oh, okay.
And if you guys want to be in it, Rex, do you want to come here and photo? Why not? Like you say. Yeah.
Do the photo.
Okay.
Let's get 15.
Oh, hang on. Smile, Rex. Did you guys want to get
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Helen and Rex, I can't believe it.
That's cool. Okay, ready? So I'll call for a motion to resume standing orders, please. If I could have a mover, please. Councillor Cole, Councillor Hickey, please. All those in favour? Carried, excellent. No deputations or presentations tonight, Mr CEO?
No, there's not, Madam Mayor.
And there's no committee reports, no planning reports. And there's only number 9, officers' reports, which is the 9.1, the 2023 to 2024 annual report. And I get the honour to introduce this one. So it is my privilege to present the Corangamite Shire's annual report for 2023-2024, which marks the 3rd year of progress under the council plan for 2021 to 2025. This report offers us an opportunity to reflect on the achievements, challenges and the overall work carried out by the council to meet the needs of our community over the past financial year. Additionally, it fulfils our obligations under the Local Government Act 2020, ensuring transparency and accountability in all that we do. The annual report, which will be available for public review following this meeting, provides detailed insight into the council's efforts to achieve the goals set out in the council plan. It also outlines our performance against the local government performance reporting framework. I think that's it, right? Yep, sorry, I had a couple of versions. Despite the challenges faced this year, council has accomplished a great deal. Some of the key achievements include $7.55 million invested in renewing local roads, completing a variety of projects ahead of schedule, such as rehabilitating 20 sites, upgrading 18 footpaths and replacing the bridge on Dignity's Bridge Road. The opening of the 12 Apostles Trail in December 2023 was a major milestone for tourism and the recreation in the region and the wider community. Completion of the McNichol Street Early Years Training Centre. We introduced a new grants program, the Business Assistance Scheme and the Ready Now grants, so we can support events, local businesses and community groups with over $200,000 in grants. We began the sale of land lots in Timboon as part of the Unlocking Housing Timboon project. We introduced the Positive Ageing and Inclusion Navigation Support Program to help residents understand the aged care system. And in the area of environmental sustainability, we had 58.65% of waste was diverted from landfill, while our Narrogid landfill composted over 12,000 tonnes of organic waste. Over 5,500 properties were reached by our curbside glass recycling rollout. We upgraded the Darren Allen transfer station. We adopted the environment and sustainability strategy, and I'm proud to say that all council buildings are now powered by 100% renewable energy. However, the year was not without its challenges. We dealt with competing land uses, a shortage of affordable housing, rising costs beyond the rate cap, and disruptions to labour and supply chains. We faced an avian influenza outbreak in Terang, along with the closure of key local facilities like the May Noonan Aged Care Centre. Additionally, the Cardinia Early Learning Childcare Centre ceased operating in Timboon, but luckily we successfully secured a new operator, Ready Set Go, which has been fantastic for Timboon and the surrounds. We have continued to manage the cost shifting of services like kindergartens, vaccinations and libraries, which have been pushed onto local governments. And furthermore, we face challenges when the Regional Livestock Exchange ceased operations at the Camperdown sale yards, prompting investigation into the future use of this site. Despite these difficulties, I'm confident that councillors remain resilient and proactive. This annual report highlights the resilience and dedication of our staff and community in the face of both opportunity and adversity. We've made substantial progress across a wide range of initiatives, from infrastructure improvements to environment sustainability. Yet, we must continue to address the evolving needs of Corangamite, particularly around housing, economic growth, service delivery, and competing land uses of prime agricultural land. We must also continue advocating for our community needs, particularly regarding road funding and ensuring appropriate engagement in new energy projects in Corangamite. Looking ahead, we remain committed to overcoming these challenges and continuing our work to improve the lives of our residents. We've already seen remarkable progress, and I look forward to seeing what we can achieve together in the coming years. I'd like to say thank you to all the 300 odd staff members who work at the council and have made these achievements possible. We councillors form the budget and put into place what projects and priorities we have and we want to see completed. It is then the staff to go out and implement them. So you must be congratulated for all the work you do behind the scenes that people don't see. A special thanks to the comms team, especially Sarah, who's put this report together. It's a document we can be proud of, and I invite you all to explore the annual report in greater detail and join us in reflecting on this year's accomplishments as we remain focused on delivering for our community into the future. Thank you. So, councillors, there's a recommendation before you to accept the 2023-2024 annual report. Can I please have a mover for that one? Councillor Hickey, can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Castrain, Councillor Canady, sorry. Councillor Hickey.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yes, it gives me great pleasure to receive this report. It's certainly been a very, very busy year. And it feels a little bit like muck-up day today because it's the last sitting of this particular council, and it has been one of a lot of learning. What I have learnt, so if you download the annual report, you'll realise that there are 16,115 residents of the Shire with an average age of 48. You realise that there's 44,000 square kilometres in the Shire, and there are 12 towns. It's all written in the report. It's wonderful information to be able to find out. But what I'd really like to do would be step back and look at this year and congratulate our mayor on the leadership that she has shown this year as a first-time mayor. I imagine it's not an easy role to step into, and I would say that Councillor Macon has done an admirable job in fulfilling the role of mayor, and we've all been very proud to jump in behind and support Kate wherever we could. I'd still like to just use the opportunity to thank Chris Asenjo for his role in what he has done to help us and to help me personally in the job that he's done. And Chris, I'm sorry to see you leave. I understand exactly why you've chosen to vacate the chair, but it has been an honour to work with you, and you've made the job so much easier. So thank you very much. And accepting the report too. Mayor, may I just thank the other councillors for their contributions and how we've worked together so far this year. And it's a very good report, and it's certainly one that we should download or grab a hard copy of and have a read. So there's a lot in it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Hickey. Councillor Canady.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for the report that you've just presented to us. First of all, and I think this is really important for me, is to reiterate the thanks to all the committee members, volunteers, community partners, and especially the staff in the Corangamite organisation. Because as was mentioned earlier, we do make decisions here at our meetings, but, it takes the staff, our leadership team, to implement those decisions, and we appreciate that very much. And I'm proud of this organisation. I'm proud of all the personnel within it, and I really appreciate their dedication and the work that they do to help us do our job and to serve the community as well. So that's probably the most important thing to me about the consideration of this annual report. I do think that we did achieve our mission, and I think we upheld our values. And I would recommend reading the report, because you'll read about the mission and the values that we had within that report, apart from all the other detailed information in there. And it really is an interesting read, and I'd recommend it to anybody. But I felt that we did well with our annual action plan. There were 58 actions. So that's the annual action plan. That's just for this last 12 months. And 88% of those actions were completed. And I believe that in addition to that, there were carry forward actions from the previous year. So, I mean, that's an incredible effort from all of our staff, from the team, the Corangamite Shire team. I think we've managed to implement some very progressive and enabling projects that also address need. And I would suggest unlocking housing in Simpson and Timburn are very good examples of that. We know that housing is sorely needed. The Timburn and Simpson projects are something that we haven't done before, as far as I'm aware, but I think that they'll be an amazing outcome for the Corangamite community, and I'm really excited about how they're progressing and the benefit that they will bring to the Corangamite community. And we've also done a lot of work, as another example, we've done a lot of work encouraging investment in the Camperdown production precinct, which I think again is going to be an amazing benefit to the Corangamite community, that just attracting that investment, creating that opportunity for growth. We've maintained our focus on delivering quality services, which always are important because, our community needs to function every day, and it's so important for those services to be effective. I think we've managed to do that. We've invested in our roads and footpaths. Everyone, of course, that's always a top of mind thing. And it's always a top of mind thing too when we prepare our budgets to make sure that we are allocating funds adequately in that space to keep our roads safe and keep our communities safe as well. We've supported arts and culture. We're looking forward now to the brand new Graze the Day event that's coming up in Timburn. We've delivered facility upgrades. I think the Mayor mentioned the McNichol Street Early Years Centre. I think that's, I'm sure that the mothers and the dads that are leaving their children there to be cared for during the day would be absolutely loving that. And certainly we're hopeful that we'll be able to deliver more community centres of the like in Corangamite, but that's might be a long road anyway. We've supported our community in a variety of ways through delivering the positive ageing and inclusion navigation support program. Again, the Mayor mentioned that earlier. Just so happen I had that in my notes as well.
Okay.
But that's just one example of that. And we've also delivered some excitement with the opening of the 12 Apostles Trail, which we've had incredibly, amazing feedback on that. And, people are enjoying that so well. It was a long-term project. It took years to get it to the point where we were able to open it. And I think that's bringing all kinds of benefit. Obviously, the challenges have been mentioned. There's never a year without challenges. That's part of the everyday life. We can have our goals, but it's pretty hard to meet them 100%. And the competing land use is quite a big issue for us at the moment, and we're working to get better planning controls around that. More proper controls that are stronger. To help address that issue. Roads, cost increases, cost shifting, all of those things are challenges for us, but, that's just that's part of the work that we need to do to try and manage those challenges. I think our Grow and Prosper framework was really a big achievement. I'm really excited about that. I mean, it encompasses just about everything we do. I think Ms. Lindley, it might have taken more than 12 months to pull that Grow and Prosper framework together. And I'm especially pleased about the Grow Corangamite Agricultural Strategy that's within that framework. I think that's going to be an incredibly important document that we'll be relying on for years to come. to help sustain our agricultural sector and attract further development and investment in that area, as it is brings a lot of prosperity to Corangamite and provides a lot of jobs. And I think it's an important sector that we need to continue to support. Also, that framework encompasses revamped grants and other programs like community programs. I think it's been an incredibly successful achievement in the last 12 months. In addition to that, I think we've managed our budget quite well too. A budget always, shifts and changes throughout, the 12 months. I think that our finance team has done a really good job with it. I think that we've had to make some decisions here and there throughout the year in terms of how our budget has been spent. But the important thing is that we've maintained that financial stability, which is a key objective of our Corangamite Shire financial plan. And I think that's especially important, as we're moving, or we really are in a phase of funding challenges and also cost of living challenges. So I think it's going to be extremely important for us going forward to be really meticulous with our budget management. But overall, I think we've had a good year, and I'm really proud of the achievements that we've made, and I'm certainly looking forward to what's ahead of us. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kennedy. Anyone else who'd like to? Councillor Beard.
Through you, Madam Mayor, and thank you. I'd just like to mention and thank you to the councillors who, Councillor Hickey and Councillor Kennedy, who have moved in second, and completely agree, and thank you for your words. But I really do believe we epitomise what it is to be a true council and representing our people when it comes to local government. We well and truly listen. We advocate. I don't think we stress that enough within the annual report, how much advocacy we actually do perform. But we also get things done. And when you look at the annual report, and Councillor Australian will know that I've always said this is the one document that everyone should read, because it does talk to what we've done, but also what we've set out to do. It is our report card, after all, and I really rate this document every time it comes out, hence why I do get it in a hard copy, because I do like referring back to it. But I really don't think we perhaps mention enough how responsible we are with what we need to do. And I just want to do a big shout out to, obviously it has gone to the organisation as a whole. We obviously set the budget and a bit of a tone for what's to achieve, but it's our staff ultimately that work to get that done, and that's from the CEO right down, to our casual staff. Everyone's involved in the delivery of what we set out to do, so I just want to do a big shout out to them. I will acknowledge that in the highlights, I think for me personally, in Cobden, in my little patch, we also had the stage 2 of the streetscape, which was a significant rounding out of that project. And if everyone can remember the Western Star butter seats, I think it's one of those projects where I think I did lose sleep at night, wondering how that would actually play out. Would people react, how they would react to those seats, which, Sean, I think you can remember, what do we call them? Climbing, or I think you climbable art. And I remember us talking on the side of the street about that, wondering how it would actually play out, and to think it's been one of the best things we could have done. And it actually wasn't even that expensive in the end, but it really related well to that community. And it's been getting significant attention from, even across Australia. So for us, it was something that I think is worth celebrating, that it was done by local people for the local people. So I was really proud of that project, and also the structure plan, which has set the tone, I think, now for Camperdown and Terang structure plans around how we work with the community to find out what it is they want and need. And then instead of us coming up with what we think it is, we actually get it from the stakeholders involved from that community. We work with them, create the plan, and then go to the planning minister, and then we get the changes done required to help us support that community, to grow into the future. So I think that was a really significant highlight too, that amendment had occurred. This annual report has, always comes back to those 5 key themes that we set out in our council plan. So it always continually comes back to that. And it's great to see how when we create the council plan, what we think it's going to intend to be like, and then to actually see then what that translates into the projects for our communities, it's really exciting. And I think to see that we're still hand on heart, that we always come back to those key themes is really significant. Our council continually really does rate really high with our community satisfaction survey, again, which is a reflection of the organisation, and to see that we're still holding our own when we talk about our comparisons to large rural shires, but also to at a state level. We well and truly often punch above our weight, and that's not a reflection on us as councillors. That is solely on the organisation and the way in which it creates opportunity, but also reacts to what the community wants. So we need to make sure that we continually remind ourselves of how important that we keep that high level. For me, another one personally was being part of the disability inclusion plan, which we're actually in our 4th year of that project, of that rollout, and I'm on the reference group for that. And it's all about how we think about the whole of community. In the past, we've often just done, what is very evident. We don't always look at the things that I guess are really important to the people that that often have a minority voice. So to see that across our townships we're creating better accessibility, and at the heart of all our decision making when it comes to the projects we do, we actually think about, well, how does that affect the people that need to use it or need to be able to access it? So I'm really proud that, we're 4 years into that plan and we're continually ticking that one off. To our finance team, they have our backs all the time, and it's always so transparent, really responsible. I always think we continually live within our means. We keep, when you think about a household budget and with the cost of living and the impacts of that, running our budget is not dissimilar, and that we always make sure we think about, well, can we afford that, and what's the impacts of that going to be on a council going forward? So I think the organisation is continually being really responsible in that regard. And if any of the listeners out there get a chance, in the annual report, it actually talks about for every $100 what it attains to when it comes to your rates. And most important thing that's always on people's agenda is our roads. So more than not, the majority of your funding of that $100 does go towards roads, and then parks and gardens, which is our recreation and open spaces. So it's really important that people get an understanding of where their money's being spent, and that we do listen to what people are telling us. So I think for me, again, a great report card. I'm great to have been part of it. And thank you to the councillors for, I think we can stand back and be really proud again, like we usually are, because at the end of the day, we don't really do a lot of the work. It is our organisation as a whole. So, really happy to be part of supporting this annual report this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Beard. Anyone else? Councillor Castrain?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I don't want to repeat what other speakers have said, but it's interesting that earlier today I was filling out a ballot paper, a vote for another municipality, and I was reading the leaflets, the candidate statements in the leaflet, and there was a candidate who first line was local government needs to get back to roads, rates and rubbish. And while that's a tagline about local government, that's not what we deliver. And I think that one of the biggest shocks to any new councillor when they get sworn in is the breadth of council services that local government delivers. I mean, where would we be really if we stuck to those 3 things? And we talked, Councillor Beard talked about advocacy, and we do advocate very strongly for our communities, whether it be the arterial road network, which is always at the forefront in every opportunity we take, whether it's about digital connection, responsibility of state government on Crown land reserves. We've been banging on about that for years, and talking to the Planning Minister and Minister for Climate Change and Renewables about the planning impositions on our agricultural industry. Our economic development team do an amazing job, and we've talked about Grow and Prosper, but they steer business growth and tourism in our shire, which is much needed to bring in population. We looked at the Camperdown production precinct and what opportunities that's opening up for Corangamite, not just Camperdown, but the entire Corangamite Shire. Key worker housing, we never thought we'd ever get into housing development, but sometimes we just need to do these things. And on behalf of the community, with regards to Timboon, it's come a long way, and Simpson's still a work in progress, but we will get there. Our much-loved library services we run with in conjunction with Moyne Shire. I mean, they're going gangbusters. So that's been a really, really strong partnership, and pleased to say that the facades of our libraries are going to be improved in the next 12 months. 105 planning permits have been issued, 296 building permits issued to a value of over $100 million. That's pretty good for a rural municipality. The work we do, we talked about our roads, but $7.55 million of our budget goes on our local road network. And we are very much aware of the roadside weed issue, and we advocate strongly to the state government, but we've spent an additional $250,000 in the last 12 months tackling roadside weeds. Youth services, waste, yes, we need to do waste. There's compost, there's the new glass collection. Our recreation facilities are terrific, and we do spend $27 of every $100 of rates that we get go on our parks and gardens, and we certainly get a lot of compliments. That team does an amazing job. Childcare, we have mobile childcare, family daycare, we have static childcare in McNichol Street. We also have kindergartens, we have immunisations, we have 6 swimming pools, which it's just such important community facilities that this council and all councils provide, and it really comes down to the fact that, you know, it's just not roads, rates and rubbish. As the other councillors mentioned, I really want to congratulate the staff. I think the staff need to look at this document because they often work in silos. Your Parks and Gardens team are doing one thing and your ageing inclusion staff are doing another, but when you put it all together, we really do we punch above our weight, and that's due to our staff. So congratulations to them. Well done to the other councillors. I think that we've made an excellent team over the last 4 years. And I would say that this is one document, but there's many achievements. So thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Castrain. Anyone else? Nothing else? Nothing further? If not, I'll put the recommendation to a vote. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Item number 10, other business. Councillors, is there any other business you'd like to raise? Councillor Beard?
Through you, Madam Mayor. I just want to alert the communities that we've got this Saturday. We've got the Cobden Community Bank Cobden Gift, which is actually the opening to kick off the Victorian Athletic League season. So if no one got along to the event last year, it was actually on the referendum voting day. And I think the ordinary weather we had may have deterred a few people, but they've already looked at the forecast. It's meant to be pretty good. So get on up to the Cobden Rec Reserve. People have come from everywhere for this event, and it really is great to see the showcase of people in their athletic finest. So just a shout out to that for this Saturday. And I also hope you don't mind, but I am going to take this opportunity because this may very well possibly be my last council meeting, because as everyone knows, I'm contesting the Tandarook ward during these council elections, and I'm conscious that if these things don't play out positively for me, then this may be my last. So after 13 years, I do want to say a few words just to thank a few people, because I just want to remind everyone how I ended up here, and it was purely through me being inspired by local volunteers. And I should have mentioned earlier in the annual report conversation around how we're always fully committed to backing our volunteers, but a lot of us are sitting around this table because of that and our respect that we have for those people that help just keep our communities ticking over. So for me, that's how I ended up at the council table. So I want to thank everyone and anyone that I've ever come in contact with in regards to volunteering that they do for our communities, because it is a thankless job, but people are always watching and are proud of those people, and I for one are right up there at the top with what volunteers mean to me. I want to thank the organisation of the Corangamite Shire, in particular the governance team, who have always had my back, particularly 3 years whilst I was mayor, and then 2 years as deputy mayor. There is a lot of communication, a lot of time we do spend with the governance team in helping connect our diaries together. And when you're also trying to run a household with young kids, it certainly can become a bit hectic. So I shout out to the governance teams that I've had over those 13 years. To the organisation as a whole, I often always say, and I think I still say it, often we find ourselves making decisions, but yet we're not specialised in a particular field. We've got to be over so many different, diversities of the runnings of a council, and yet we sit here, the executive team around the table tonight, and I look at everything that they're specialised in. I'm just in awe of their capabilities, and I want to just put a shout out to all the staff who I have looked up to and have been really inspired by, who have taught me so much over those years and continually teach me things. So I'm really grateful to everyone who, I guess, put up with me. And some of that, when we say no dumb questions, there's always some dumb questions. But I really want to thank the organisation as a whole. I'm proud to say when we go to various events, particularly at a state level and even nationally, that, they say, where are you from? You say Corangamite Shire. And you never hear of anyone you never see anyone roll their eyes or say anything bad. We've got an amazing reputation here, and that's all because of the people that are here. Again, I want to thank my community who have always supported me. And up until this election, I've always had my back too with being uncontested when we've had elections. So I've always wondered if that's because no one else can be bothered doing it. Or no one else really cares, but I guess I need to probably take that as a sign of them having full support of what I've been doing. So I just want to thank my community for many years of support, and my councillors who I've served beside, and I know I've already thanked many of you already before tonight, but I've been totally in awe of the councillors I've served beside over many councils across that 13 years, and I know Councillor Australian sitting in, I'm trying not to make her cry, but she knows what I think of her. But I've had many people that have led me in the right direction of what it means to be a true local government representative, and I don't think I'll ever forget that. And lastly, to my family, and I'm hoping Mum and Dad are watching because Dad always watches these council meetings, but it starts from my immediate family with my husband Daniel and two boys, Jordan and Coops. The kids are only young when I first started, so they don't really know any different, but to Mum and Dad and the extended family and my friends who have supported me to do what I do, they still wonder why I do it, but it's because I love it. So I just want to take this opportunity in case I don't come back to the council table. I just don't want anyone to forget how much I've really appreciated my time as being a representative of Corangamite Shire, and I wish everybody the best, knowing you're all returning, and the community's in really safe hands. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Councillor Beard. Well said. And it's been a pleasure working with you as well for the last 4 years, and hopefully we'll see you around the table again. But it's been an absolute honour to work with you and to be led by you and to learn from you. So thank you very much. Any other general business, councillors? Nope. Open forum. Mr. CEO, do we have any items on from social media?
Madam Mayor, there's nothing that's been submitted online. However, I have a question that's been submitted in advance of this evening's meeting.
Yep.
The meeting is from Mr. John Glazebrook, and it's a question in relation to a conversation he had with Councillor Hickey. The question is, Councillor Laurie Hickey advises Corangamite Shire needs a budget surplus for next financial year of $3.86 million due to rising diesel prices and higher energy costs. How can this be when the price of diesel fuel is currently trending down and the price of energy is determined by what plan you sign up for, the default price of energy and government subsidies? Firstly, I thank Mr. Glazebrook for taking the time to submit that question. I have spoken to Councillor Hickey since receiving that question, and my conversation with Councillor Hickey would suggest that the comments have been taken out of context. And I guess in relation to the $3.86 million surplus that Mr. Glazebrook alludes to, it's the surplus that's published in our annual budget. When accounting for non-recurrent capital grants, the underlying surplus for council for the current financial year is budgeted at just over $2 million. And surpluses are really important because it is a surplus that makes the council sustainable over the long term. And This current financial year in particular has a large service due to the nature of the budget that council has adopted. It's a significant capital works program on the back of a significant capital works program that's just been reported on in the annual report this evening. And so from an overall cash perspective, and there are other indicators of financial sustainability for councils as well. And so in any given year, as part of a budget setting process, council sets an income statement, a statement of cash flows, balance sheet, and a statement of changes in equity. And those four documents need to be read in conjunction with one another. Although the accounting result is a $3.86 million surplus, on a cash basis, we've had a significant reduction. It's actually a deficit. So those two things read together would suggest that the council, although making an operating profit, is investing significant money in renewing, maintaining and upgrading its existing assets across the municipality. And we're seeing evidence of that play out, particularly in the southern parts of the Shire. We've had significant impacts on our budget already since the commencement of the financial year, particularly in regards to increases in work cover premiums and insurances as well. The budget that was adopted also accounted for significant increases in the operations of our swimming pools, library services, and a range of other costs as well. So whilst I thank Mr. Glazebrook for his question, and he rightly points out that that surplus is an important factor that allows council to get on and deliver the range of services that the community has come to expect and appreciate. And for the current financial year, that surplus will allow the delivery of a significant capital works program. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. We have someone in the gallery. Do you have a question or anything? No, that's fine, not a problem. We have no confidential items tonight. So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Stay safe and we'll talk to you all next time. Thank you.